Yes, we are back, and Uche was whispering that I should be more secure, right?
Oh, like seriously, just you wish. Okay, sometimes he gets this nutty, but no problem. I'm in for you today, Justin.
Oh my goodness! It is still Galaxy today, not Comedy Half Hour, and we are going to our next segment, and we're looking at lifestyle, specifically office politics, to play and not to play. And we have someone here who's been running for some time now.
Exactly. Salami, executive business and life coach.
Well, I've not been
Good morning.
Where have you been? I've been to London to see the Queen.
He's been away making money.
No, well,
We understand.
I wish I was in London. You know, I wish I was in America. You know,
Dining with President Trump.
Some favorite food that I like now is a combination of many things. You
Okay.
know, having locust beans fetched from somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
You know, combined with cappuccino. You know, make sure that it's French
Please
reverse.
stop this. You're just going to whet his appetite.
I am not understanding.
And you know, I like pepper chicken, not the African sauce, you know, with a South
Chili.
American,
Okay.
with a South American sauce, so that I'm actually having an intercontinental meal.
Thank God you're married. I would have said probably you should pick some.
All right, culinary half hour is off. Now, back to lifestyle. Politics in the office or workplace and politics to play and not to play.
Before then, you know, a whole lot of people really, they play office politics and they tell you they don't. Maybe because they do not understand what office politics is about. So let's start with that. What exactly is office politics?
Okay. It is important to know that the workplace is a political environment,
Is it?
to start with.
Justin, you got your
You
point.
know, to start with, know that the workplace is a political environment.
Okay.
Anywhere you have more than two people and they come to the place regularly, they interact regularly, politics is there. Even in the family, between father and mother, once the children come, once children start to come, politics will come into play. You know, oh yeah, your father's son, or yeah, your mother's daughter, you know, all of those conversations. And so the workplace is a political environment, and it's important to know. And every now and then we're exposed to politics, whether you want to play consciously or you're not playing consciously. So what is important is to know that one, it is a political environment. Two, how do you now position yourself to ensure that the politics doesn't submerge you, doesn't
So
subdue you?
invariably, Abiola, so if I got you correctly, politics at the workplace is inevitable and it's something that must happen, whether you like it or not. Somehow, directly or indirectly, you are playing politics
Yeah,
at
you're
work.
part of it. Not that you are actively playing, but you're part of it somehow.
Okay.
So the conversation about to play or not to play is just know that you're part of it already. You know, and so you may be a victim, you know, or you may be a victor. And so what to do, whereas there's the negative politics, you know, which is where people play very dirty, and, you know, and that's not even the one we're talking about. That should be frustrated, that should be stopped, that shouldn't be allowed to continue, you know. But there's the general feral, you know, politics, you know, which everybody's exposed to in the workplace. And I tell you this, you know, I had a client, one of my executive coaching clients, she's an executive director in one of the telecoms companies, who complained to me about politics in her organization. And this is what happened. Whenever they are having executive management meeting every week, every executive director comes to give a report of their division and to share their goals about what they want to achieve the week, the month, the quarter, as it ties into the organization's goal for the year. What this lady realizes is that when she starts to talk about her unit, or about her division rather, the other 4 EDs, somehow it looks like they gang up against her. You know, so at first she started throwing the gender card, you know, the gender card.
Exactly.
Started throwing the gender card that you know, men are ganging up against women, you know, that because I'm the only woman on the board and all of that. Then I told her so I asked her to explain to me what goes on in the meeting, how exactly it happened. It took me a few minutes to get her to really share because she was quite emotional about it. Eventually, when this lady started talking, let me tell you what I discovered. Now, this lady is a compendium of Harvard Business School, London Business School, Yale, all together packed in one person. And so what I realized is that when the other EDs, when they are sharing their ideas about their goals, about their plans, and about giving a report of what has happened before, she pokes holes in the things they're saying. She's always finding faults in the things they're saying. As far as she's concerned, she's critiquing what they're doing so that they could do
to the
better.
bottom line, yes.
But she only critiques, she doesn't give a recommendation.
Whoa, okay.
Do you understand? She just says, this is wrong, this is not good. I mean, how can you think about this? You're an ED, you've worked here for, I mean, you have over 20 years experience and you're still thinking this way. And so she talks down on
Other EDs.
all of them. And then she now comes with her superior idea about her own unit. And of course, immediately, they always bounce her. So this is what I recommended to her. I said, so it is good for you to have comments about other people's, other people's ideas. But what you want to do is to do what I call CRC. CRC, which the first C is commend, the R is recommend, and the final C is commend, which is somebody has shared an idea with you. The first thing to do is appreciate the idea. In fact, look at the good things in the idea. Then go to what you see that can be improved on. Except you want to prove a point, and that's what you want. That's not what you want to do. The more you prove a point in the workplace, the more you set up yourself for real dirty politics. Because people will start to say that, are you the only one? Are you the only smart person? So you've commended the person for what the person has shared. Now give a recommendation that, but I think we can improve on this if you do this, this, and this. You can even also suggest that this is how to do what it is that I'm recommending. And then you end with the last C, which is a commendation as well. About something good that the person has said. Now, when this lady applied this, I mean, this is a top lady, executive director in the telecoms company. When this lady went back to work and she changed the way she approached her colleagues, the relationship got better. She would have thrown in gender empowerment or gender inequality. Well, she would have thrown in office politics without knowing that it's important to develop certain skills so that you properly position yourself. Even if there is politics, the wind will carry you up rather than the wind blowing you out.
I see. That's good to know. So, what if is a place where I'm trying to play, probably play out a scenario here. If it's a place where this is politics, and then it has nothing. How do I put it? You're very sure in your own way that this has to do with probably your personality. You didn't create you. God made you who you are, and it just feels like this person feels somehow like, no, I just have to prove it. Okay, like someone trying to prove a point to you that I am better than you are. And this is something you're not looking at. This is something you're not bothered about, but somehow they just play it to you. You try. How do you handle situations like that?
Fantastic. It's good for us to know that as much as the workplace is a political environment, that there are two circles that exist. Two circles. The first circle is what I call the circle of influence. The second circle is what I call the circle of concern. Now, your circle of influence are the things that affect you that you have control over. Your circle of concern are the things that affect you that you have no control over. This is the error we commit. The error we commit is we invest our energy, our time, our resources in our circle of concern. The things that affect us that we don't have control over. Rather than putting our energy in our circle of influence. When you put your energy in your circle of influence, it helps you to control your circle of concern. So case in point, it is about your personality in the workplace. What can you control? You can control how the other person responds to you, or you can control the way you respond to it. That is one. Two, about your personality. You can control how you develop yourself, so that maybe you said, okay, you didn't create yourself, this is the way you are, this is the way you were created. And all of us, we have a chance to recreate ourselves. That's the place of learning. That's the place of developing our skills. That's a way of improving our knowledge, improving our skill, and developing our attitude. KSA. Knowledge, skill, attitude. So I concentrate on me. And it's about looking at the man in the mirror, the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. When it comes to office politics, not about them, but about me. What can I do better? Because at every point in time, when there is a problem in the organization, and there are always problems in that organization, what leadership is looking for is value. who can bring value to the table. Now, it doesn't matter you're tall, you're short, all of those, you're a man, you're a woman, all of those things doesn't matter. Who has solution? The more you position yourself to be a solution giver in an organization, the less the politics will sway you. And another thing is, you don't want to set up yourself for politics as well, engaging in things like backbiting, gossips, engaging in talking about the boss because the boss is not around, everybody feels good about that. You don't want to be in all of those things, because when we talk about attitude, is about setting your character well, understanding that when one is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when your character is lost, everything is
Okay, speaking about the scenario that you just painted right now, where some people would always want to talk down or badmouth the boss or the line manager or the head of department or another colleague who might not be around just because they don't really agree with some of the things he or she does. They just say all the bad things, and you are just there on the sideline, and they expect you to contribute, and you are like, okay, you're not saying yes or you're not saying no. And other times when the person comes, they're like, hey, how you doing? What's up? You're looking nice today and all of that. How do you really handle all of that?
No, that was a great question, and great way to handle it. Never ever be tempted to join gossip.
Okay.
Never ever be tempted to join backbiting, because this is what happens. So if I'm talking about Uche to you while she's not here, and of course, we both have a great time, talking about her, saying all the bad things. Yes, that's how they do. We'll feel good.
Yeah.
Saying all the bad things about her. When you leave, and Uche comes, I will say some things about you. But I may even tell Uche that is what you said, whereas I said it. So Uche will have trust in me. The trust I earned by doing the bad thing as well. So, but once people know that you don't give attention to gossip, you don't give attention to all of those things, they will not come to you. Now, when anybody wants to say anything to you, and I learned this from the great Greek philosopher Aristotle, when anybody wants to say anything to you about someone that is not with you, Uche is not here and somebody wants to talk about Uche, ask the person 3 questions. Now, this thing you're about to say, before you say it, make sure it passes these 3 tests. Number 1, what you want to say, is it true? Number 2, what you want to say, is it good? Number 3, what you want to say, is it useful?
Yes.
I mean, if we give you a microphone and to put everybody there, is this something you can say? Can you say it to Uche's face? So 3 things again. Is it true or false? Is it just a figment of your imagination? Something you've created because you want to prove a point. 1. 2, is it good? Is it a good thing? Is it forward thinking? Is it something that will move us forward? Is it a recommendation on what we can do better? Is it useful? If it does not follow T, G, U, then don't tell me about it. Now, people will respect you if that is the way you conduct yourself. And if that is, and when they respect you, they don't come to you for, they don't know what they don't say to you.
Okay, what about this? When you are that guy that is popular with the boss, and somehow you have you always have a listening. He always has a listening ear for you when you talk to him. How do you do this when other colleagues come to you and just want you to always be their voice, and always some of see as some pushover, where like this and this and this, we don't like this, we don't like this, so why don't you do this? I mean, how do you handle such situation?
Fantastic. Now, if the boss always, if the boss trusts you to listen to whatever you have to say, you need to be careful to manage that relationship well. Because it's a thin line. It's actually it's a slippery slope kind of thing. Because if you don't manage it well, you can lose it, and once you lose it once, you've lost it for life. So you want to be careful. It's because the boss sees you as a person of value. That's why the boss trusts you enough to listen to you. Now, it is the same thing about true, good, useful. So when colleagues come to you to mount pressure on you, you want to listen to them.
Okay.
Not that you don't want to listen, but listening is not agreeing. When you listen to people, you are seeking to understand, what it is that they are saying.
All right.
You want to ask the person, so what you're talking about, how can it benefit the organization? Help the person to help you to see what benefit it is to the organization. So if it's something of benefit for the organization, I'm sure that you, the guy close to the boss, will want to share with the boss, and if the boss sees it as something of benefit, then you will share. Okay. Mind you, there are people that will just come around because they know that the boss confides in you and the boss trusts you just to dump things on you. So you want to sift and know who to listen to and who not to. I mean, what to take and what not to take. But you listen to everybody.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, but I'd like to also see it from this angle. Okay, but or say something about this angle where, just like what he said, the boss listens to you, and how about in the case where, how do I put this now? It happens where it is your idea, you're all given a task, but because you have to submit to someone more like ahead of you, maybe like a boss, a supervisor, submits a task, and then it looks like they play out the task before the boss without your name.
That is that's the senior
The supervisor or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Playing out the task without your name.
Okay.
And then not just without your name, then there's this thing where they make it look like you are not useful.
Okay.
But this is actually
Your work.
your idea.
Okay.
So you in that position, how do you play it out? What do you do in a
Fantastic.
situation like that?
Fantastic. So you did a job that you didn't get a credit for, and someone else used it to be theirs. Okay, so this is what you want to do. One, we don't assume that is what will happen until it happens.
Yes.
So now it has happened, and then you did not receive credit, and you are even being told that you are not useful. So what you want to do is you can have a conversation with your boss. You know that you said I didn't do this, but actually this is what happened. So let us assume that the boss is somebody that does not listen, even after you have said that you did this, you can take it up. You can take it up depending on the structure of the organization. You can take it up, which is you can take it up to your boss's boss, or first look for someone on your boss's level, somebody your boss trusts, somebody that is friendly with your boss, and share with your boss. And what you also want to do is not to be pointing that my idea, no, just see it as your contribution, but discuss with somebody, close to your boss. And some soft things are very important. As much as it is your idea, you also want to be endearing to people. You want people to like you. You want to be there for people. You want to connect with people. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the reason you may lose your idea is because you necessarily don't. I come here, I do my work, and I leave this place. But we're emotional beings, so it's important to the relationship with other people, and that can help before you even go to the boss. It is when it's now very serious, nobody's listening, it's so bad, you're about to lose your job because they think you're not contributing. Say, sir, I have something to say.
Okay, how do you handle a situation, a scenario where you're at the office, you have an immediate supervisor and you have the overall boss? Is it always advisable, sometimes to go over your immediate boss's head to the overall boss, and in terms of where you know that several times you've run several things to this particular supervisor who doesn't really take it up, or who necessarily might not really have the boldness to discuss some issues with the overall boss. So what do you do? Sometimes is it advisable to go over his head?
Okay, now it depends on the industry. There's no one size that fits all kind of response. It depends on the industry. If it is a structured industry, if it's a well-structured industry, it is not advisable that you go over your boss. That is where you can always look for someone, someone close to your boss, to have a conversation with. Because it's important for us to know the difference between position and influence. Position and influence. The person that has the position could be your boss, but your boss may not be the one with the influence. And so because he or she doesn't have influence, he or she doesn't want to be bashed by his own boss or her own boss. That's why the person is not taking your idea off. So you want to look for the person that has influence with your boss, such that you can now come into an agreement on how to deal with this issue in a structured environment. There's one environment that it is not hierarchical, the way they run their structure, that anybody can walk to the boss, to the big boss. As much as people report to others, anybody can walk to the big boss and share their ideas. So it's important to know the difference between position and influence. The position is the place of the boss. The boss may not have influence. So understand who the influencers are within the organization. When you have an idea, drive it through them without necessarily pushing out your boss.
I have two in one now. I don't know how to structure it. The first one is how do you handle, there's where I handle this, but I just want to be sure if I'm handling it. But how do you handle a situation where like a colleague, more like like someone who's trying to, maybe not a colleague or a friend, someone who's in a silent competition with you. You're not in that competition, but it's just someone in a silent competition. And in this way, the best they can do is to talk you down before others. And in talking you down before others, probably trying to buy the minds of these ones against you, you know. I've always learned that sometimes you don't struggle, you don't defend the truth, allow it to defend itself. As time goes on, it will come out. That's how I've been handling it. I won't defend it, I just allow you play along. Then things would, you know, play out itself. And also a situation where...
That's first question.
Yes, that's
Okay.
first question.
Okay.
And also, okay, maybe we should let's answer the first one first.
Okay. Remember the circle of concern and the circle of influence?
Yes.
So someone is in a silent competition. Focus on your work and focus on developing your skills. You know, so that you are always the pace setter.
Yes.
So you're always in
Yes.
front, the person is always behind.
Behind.
Focus on developing your skills to your maximum best. Focus on the things you can work on. Don't spend time trying to explain. That time I would rather spend it developing myself. The time I will spend, you know, trying to explain myself to who does not matter, you know, because that doesn't matter. If it's my boss, then it matters, you know, but for who does not matter, I will spend that time developing my competence such that the difference will be clear, such that even the blind can see. Just a few weeks down the line that the difference between us is the gap between us is wide. So I don't care about the person. I'm not focusing on the person. I care about the person's welfare. That's what when I say I don't care about the person's attitude.
Yeah.
I only care about what I am supposed to be doing. So I keep on studying, I keep on learning, I keep on developing myself, I keep on getting the certifications, so that my performance will improve, so that the awards will come and the recommendations will come, you know, and you know, don't focus on circle of influence. Not circle of concern. Part B of the question.
Okay, part B is now a situation whereby when I mean, okay, there's something I call
Very quickly, Uche, we're out of time.
distant close relationship and
Okay.
close distant relationships. I mean, we could be colleagues, does not mean we're friends.
Of course.
So, and you're trying to define this with some other friends.
Okay.
We're friends does not mean, I mean, we could be acquaintances does not mean we are close friends. We could be colleagues does not mean we're friends. And on your own part, you're trying to define it, but that other party sees it like it looks like you're not taking me serious. How do you make them understand that this is a circle where you belong to? Not like it's bad, but I don't want you closer than. Now, how do you define that?
You see, this conversation and many more, because this weekend on Saturday, we're having a program where we're discussing office politics, to play or not to play. That is the question. Many things like this will come up there. It's holding at Champ City. Anybody watching, if you want to be part of it, just follow me on Instagram. It's at Abiola_champ. Send a direct message. We'll let you know how to do it. It's free, you know, so it's free. You're not paying, but again, you need to register. Now, the thing is this: it is important to know that we choose our friends. Our friends don't choose us.
Yeah.
The choice is yours. But at the same time, you don't want to be ringing a bell to my hearing that you are not my friend, you are not my friend, we are just colleagues. That will damage the relationship that we have.
Yeah.
Think about it. We spend more time in the workplace than we spend with our families. So where is best to develop friendship? Is it not in the workplace? But when I carry myself to say, hey guys, I choose my friends, which is true, my friends don't choose me. So Justin, we met here in Galaxy TV.
Yes.
And our relationship is Galaxy.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to me,
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Nothing more. Galaxy.
Nothing more.
Galaxy.
With that, you put yourself in a cocoon and you even set up yourself for
Alright.
real-time politics. No, don't talk to her, that one. You don't want to be like that. You want to be friendly with people. Being friendly is different from being
Friends.
Yes.
so you want to be friendly with people. But if you are trying to let somebody see that we're just colleagues, we're not friends, we are not being friendly with that person.
No, you're being friendly.
Okay. Okay, we
You
are
not
out
friendly with
of
that person,
time.
you know.
All right, that's as much as we can take on the show. I don't have to be friends with Uche. I just have to be friendly with her.
Like,
Uh,
seriously.
so it's just about Galaxy. Aquinugo.
Uche will finish.
Have you heard it?
Uche will finish it. you are insisting that.
He's actually been asking me to be his mama, office mama. But it's not an issue.
No, I'm sure he did not ask.
He did ask.
No, from my experience,
He did
you have
ask.
been offering.
No, he did ask.
You know, we are out of here. We must say a very big thank you to all of you who have watched our show this morning. Thanks for all the messages. Lots of them are just coming by the second. People are still reacting concerning the Stolen Senate Maze Season 1 and Season 2. Don't mind me. All right. Well, thank you to Richard Amuwa who joined us earlier, and of course Barrister Frank Tete. Of this segment, we had
Mabiola Salam, Executive Business and Life Coach. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you for having me.
And to you all, we'll do this tomorrow when it's entertainment. You know I love entertainment. And do not forget to have a wonderful Thursday. I'm Uche Onyekuriji. Bye for now.
And I'm Mazi Justin Akadonye. I'll see you again tomorrow. I don't care how Uche is shaking her head. I'm still Mazi Justin. Bye-bye. Bye for now.
A lot is happening around the world today, from